Let's take a look at some sports cars you can buy for around £10,000. In this video we're looking at cars that still feel relatively modern, still quite newish, still might even have the new car smell, and something you can use as a daily driver. So let's take a look. The Mercedes-Benz SLK. This is the third generation SLK, and it was made between 2011 and 16. Now I personally think this is a very good looking car. It looks a lot more muscular than the previous generation SLKs, and I much prefer the 80s boxy styling this car has, and it has lots more appeal to lots more people now. Now the entry level is the SLK 200, which is powered by a 1.8 litre turbo engine with 184 brake horsepower. Then there's the SLK 250, same engine but with 204 brake horsepower. Then the 350, which is a 3.5 V6 with 306 brake horsepower. And then the very potent, very fast SLK 55 AMG, which has a 5.5 litre V8 with 421 brake horsepower. There's even a 204 brake horsepower diesel if you need more fuel economy. The SLK is great fun to drive, roof up or down, and being inside the car is just as nice. There's everything you'd expect, including the automatic metal roof, so it doubles up as a coupe. It has nice heated seats and a nice neck scarf which blows hot air behind your neck for those cooler roof down days. Now for £10,000 there's lots to choose from. Prices start at about £7,000, so you can afford to be picky. But I found this 2012 SLK 250 AMG Sport. It's got 71,000 miles and it's £10,000. Now the AMG Sport package has some extra AMG body styling, better brakes, better wheels, smoked lights and more bits that I haven't mentioned. So this is the one I'd definitely buy. The Mazda MX5, the world's most popular roadster, and it's smaller and lighter than the 1989 original and safer and much better equipped. This front-engine rear-wheel drive Roadster was launched in 2015 and is the 4th generation MX5. I love the styling of the Mark 1. Who doesn't love pop-up headlights? Generation 2 and 3 looked okay, a bit too curvy and friendly looking for me, but this generation looks a lot more aggressive with its harder lines and scowling headlights. It was launched with a 1.5 litre 135 brake horsepower engine and a 2 litre 160 brake horsepower engine. Not exactly mind-blowing, but this car is all about the handling and the fun and the smile factor, not outright pace. So either engine car will be a decent choice and a good buy. Now there's no hardtop like on the last generation, unless you buy the RF, which is a lot more expensive, but it does have a very quick roof. It takes just 3 seconds to open or close. There's quite a few MX5s right now hovering around the £10,000 mark. They're a good price now. I found this 2016 MX5 1.5 SE with just 15,000 miles from new, and it's £11,000. It looks great in red and the mileage is super low. That's a great buy. The Porsche Boxster 987, made between 2004 and 12. The original Boxster opened up the market to lots of people who would have never bought a Porsche, and it was a massive success, even with those awful fried egg style headlights. But thankfully with this Generation 2 Boxster they ditched the egg lights and it looked more like a Porsche again. It launched with a 2.7 litre 240 brake horsepower engine and a Boxster S with a 3.2 280 brake horsepower engine, but over time those engines and brake horsepower will get better. The Boxster may be the oldest car on this list, but it comes with the most premium badge. But it's not just about the badge that makes it great. It's a good looking car, it drives really well, and it has that distinctive Porsche sound. These Porsches can be bought from as little as £6,000, but spend a little bit more to get a nicer example with low mileage. I found this 2005 Boxster S in black with just 69,000 miles for £10,750. And I found this 2005 Boxster with just 42,000 miles for £10,500, but I'm sure if you haggled you'd get them both for 10. The Fiat 124 Spider. This front-engined, rear-wheel drive Italian roadster was released in 2016, but it's not 100% Italian. It's based on the new MX5, which isn't a bad thing. They share the same platform and they're even built on the same production line in Japan. Fiat does supply the body and engine though. Now this 124 looks really good, and it's very reminiscent of the classic 124 from the 1960s. The interior quality is great, as it's basically the same as the MX5s. Now it was released with a 1.4 turbo engine, which is from the Alfa Romeo Mito, and that has 138 brake horsepower. Then there's the 124 Abarth Spider, which is the tuned up version, and that has 168 brake horsepower. It has better brakes, a really good exhaust system, limited slip diff, and it looks even better. This model is also faster than any MX5 as well. The Abarth Spider is a bit over budget right now. Prices for these start at about 14,000, but I did see this 2016 Spider in white with 31,000 miles for £11,500. Again, a bit over budget, but I have seen private sellers sell them for just over 10,000, or if you're watching in about a year's time, there'll be plenty for around 10,000. The Nissan 370Z Roadster from 2010 to 16. This car looks very muscular and aggressive in its styling. It's a good looking car, it has a lot of road presence, and it's pretty rare. Now these Z cars go all the way back to the 60s and 70s, and then there was the awesome twin-turbo 300ZX from the 90s. The 370Z was a natural progression from the 350Z, which are at great prices now, by the way, about £3,000 to £5,000-ish. Now this 370Z is an improvement on the 350Z in terms of the driving experience, the interior, and by the way it looks. This Roadster shares the same engine as the coupe version, a 3.7 litre V6, which has 323 brake horsepower. Economy isn't great, but who cares? When looking online, I did find this 2010 car in white. It's done 120,000 miles, really good condition, with a buy it now price of £8,000. It did have an auction running alongside it at the same time, but it didn't meet the reserve. Its final price was £6,211. But if you're wanting a car with much less mileage, I did find this 2011 car with 66,000 miles for £12,500. So for £10,000, you'll get something roughly in the middle, mileage-wise. The Alfa Romeo Spider, made between 2007 and 10. This is basically the cabriolet version of the Alfa Romeo Brera, which was another good-looking car. This Spider is stunning to look at, it looks really good, just like its predecessor. That was a pretty good-looking car too. Now, this Spider looks good from every angle, and the interior is really stylish as well. It's a really nice place to be in. There's various engines to pick from. There's a 2.2 petrol, which has 185 brake horsepower. There's a diesel version, but for me, I wouldn't really go for that one. But the one to go for is the 3.2 V6, which has 260 brake horsepower. Also, these V6s have Alfa's Q4 four-wheel drive system, which is pretty handy to have. Now this car has been holding its value really well these last few years, but I did find this 2007 model with 70,000 miles in silver with black leather, and it's a 3.2 V6 version, and it's only £9,000. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment if you wish, and subscribe. I'll see you later.